here with Pat Chun from the University of Washington. Go Dogs, firstly. I'll get that out of the way.
Yeah.
Goodness, it's been really cool to see the winter programs do so well.
Yeah.
All, reach the postseason. How have things been for you? I don't know if you ever get to sit and breathe, with how busy you are, but how have things been for you since coming over here to Montlake?
It's been fun because you like the fun parts are watching practice, watching our young people compete. You've been around our athletic department for a few years now, and congrats on all your early successes.
Thank you.
But that's the fun parts. Now there is constant change in our environment.
Yes.
There's that. I mean, college athletics, our ecosystem is really kind of a mess right now. We have a settlement that's on the horizon that should create a little bit of a moment of stillness, but more change will be on the horizon. We have a new president that's going to start this summer at the UW. So if anything, I think we're kind of desensitized to change in college athletics, and we're kind of just, hey, let's roll our sleeves up and attack whatever change is out there.
The biggest thing in terms of change that I learned, especially being at O'Day and playing football, is a sudden change. If there's a turnover, I got to be ready, right? I don't have time to.
Right.
Yes, sir. There's no sitting down and sitting back on the bench. Just having talked to Coach Langley, Coach Sprinkle's fun to hear. He's very to the point, right? Like, they've all lauded each other's programs, and seeing the success. Like I was telling you before we started here with the women's basketball team, getting a big win against Minnesota. We've got senior day on Sunday. Like, seeing everyone's success is massive. Like, does that maybe like give you a little excitement just seeing how much everyone is succeeding in their own sports? We've got rowing here today. We've got some track and field folks. Just how much, as much change as there is to see the winning and to see the success that these programs are having and to work well with each other. Like I know DeLea and Frank worked on the Black History shirt. Right?
Nice.
Like, does that, I don't know if it makes your job easier, but to have that sort of cohesion and the success all while you're, trying to stay on top of things, does it make anything easier for you?
When you talking those terms, it just brings up a lot of joy and pride. Because if you spend time with DeLea and Frank, I mean, you just because you mentioned those two.
Yes.
Two exceptional young people, two people that are put on this planet to make a difference, two people that make a difference every single day in practice, in their environments with their respective teams and in games. So it's just fun knowing that we have those, they're 2 of 500, that wake up every day and try to figure out, like, I'm put on this planet to do something.
Yep.
Right now I'm at the University of Washington, and I'm going to use sport to kind of help guide me to what to maximize what my potential is. So when you put it in those terms, that's the fun, that's the joy when you watch them go just do really compelling things. And we have a bunch of DeLea and Franks that you just marvel at what they do now. You'll wonder, what are they going to be doing 20 years from now?
Yeah.
Because I promise you it's going to be something impressive and incredible. So that's the fun parts of our jobs.
I will say, like, maybe more personal, interacting with some of your student athletes in women's basketball, the women's tennis folks, the soccer teams, like it has been remarkable to see how many of them are so upstanding. And so, like, Tina was talking about El Ladine being like a beam of joy wherever she goes.
Yeah, and a bomber.
Well, then we got Cam Fabiculan on the football team. He's pumped up every time. So, football is a great transition. The program the last few years, obviously, we talked about change. There's been a lot of change there. It has been remarkable, though, to see how professional things are with experience and the coaches' clinics that you guys are doing. Like, does that sort of embody, do you think, maybe this is more of an opinion thing, does that embody where maybe the athletics are going, or is that sort of a tougher question to answer?
No, I think it's been really, really wonderful to work with Jedd.
Okay.
And to watch him embrace this environment and really put together a program that positions us best as we go forward. So, at the end of the day, we're still a people business.
Yes.
When you talk about the staff you put together, the young men we have wearing our jerseys, we're trying to accumulate the best young people, the best staff that can teach and mentor those young people. And ultimately, the time frames are shorter now.
Yep.
You kind of live year to year. These months are critical for the football season because you got to build team, you got to build leadership. But, when you look at what Jedd's done, he's put what I believe, I believe we've upgraded our coaching staff. We've upgraded our roster. can we get enough done over these next few months to put us in a position for the 2025 season? That's the fun part. We're going to find out. So,
talking about football, it kind of makes me wonder, ticket prices, are generally in sports are always a big thing, right? Like I know people at least with the Kraken, we look at professionally. A lot of people want to go to those games, but they can't. I want to talk to you about, this is new, you have a few student athletes that have these special links that will contribute right to them. Is that was that something that you guys thought of? Because I know especially...
Well, it's not me. We got smarter people in our
department. I was going to say, someone in the department.
People,
That's pretty innovative. I don't know if I've ever seen anything like that.
It's probably really indicative. So I would say there's two things that when I think of when that was told to me, this is what we're working on. One, our athletic department is driven by what can we do for our student athletes.
Yes,
we're here to serve them. And two, we recognize how complex and crazy our environment is. So credit to our ticket team for thinking, all right, here's a wonderful way we can work with our athletes in this NIL environment to really allow them to work, to monetize a couple things. So it's just, innovation is, a one step forward, and it was a pretty innovative idea by our athletic team to do that.
And then I talked about the professional side. What I'll end you with is working with those pro teams, right? I know it's the last few years for you, but seeing the women's soccer teams doing a friendly against the rain, and seeing some of the connections that the other teams have, like the women's soccer team does have a connection right to the rain. There's a pipeline there, and even seeing some of your athletes shown on the big screens or throwing first pitches. How has it been to work with some of these pro teams? Because it's such a busy sports city. To work with all of them and have your athletes represented on a bigger scale, where some people might be going to a Mariners game and, delay is throwing the first pitch, and then they learn she's from a local and all this sort of thing. How has it been to work with some of the professional teams in this city?
It's been fantastic. Everybody here understands how crowded this ecosystem can be, and how much better it is if we can work together. So since I've been here, I've leaned on Mariners, Seahawks, Kraken for advice. Our world's being more professionalized. You're 100% right. So it's getting advice from leaders in this community. So I think it's just it's why a night like this happens. This is a sports town, and I think to be in a successful sports town like this, it takes leadership, and we're fortunate to be in an environment where there's all these wonderful leaders in around sports in this community.
Perfect, sir. Thank you.
Right. Go Dogs.
Hey, Charles.
Hey, Jen.
Hey, how about them Huskies?
Ooh, purple and gold, baby.
Yeah. When are you going to watch all those away games, though?
All those away games. There are a lot of them, and I was hoping to come to Rough and Tumble because this is the home of Circling Saddle Sports, if that's okay with you.
I think that's a great idea. Hope to see you all here.